Hello guys, today I'm going to be showing you how we can take risk entries on H4 levels. Now, there's a couple of ways we can actually do this. The first way is taking a risk entry just off of the H4 level, and then the second one is taking a risk entry off of the H1 level. So you got the H4 level and the H1 level. So we're just going to show a diagram here on the chart first. Okay. Okay, so say for example we have got a H4 flip level here. Okay. Normally we would be waiting for price to come and tap in like so, give a QM, and then we would be looking for our entry. Now, if you want to take a risk entry, what we can do is we can then look for not a 15-minute MSNR above this H4 level. So say for example, after this line here, this is 15-minute now. Okay. So in this case, we would be looking at this level here. Okay. Now you can either go about two ways of this. You could either just set your limit right here. And usually we look to put it above the high, like so. Or if it's on a V level or an A level, we usually cover something to the left. I'll show you an example of both of these in a minute. Now, say for example, we want to wait for the 15-minute confirmation that price is actually going to be going in our direction. So we would wait for that 15-minute QM. Okay. And then we'd look for a H1 level. Like so. And yet again, we'd be looking for, the next 15-minute level here. And yet again, you'd be looking to enter off of that, covering a high. In this case, it'd be the high of that QM. So now let's go and have a look. Now, just to prove this works, I've actually picked soybean futures, well, actually soybean CFDs. This isn't a pair that everyone trades, but it's not a pair that, you'd be looking to trade. You wouldn't think things like this would work on it. So I'm just going to be showing you because it does actually work on it. So let's take yesterday, for example. It worked twice here on soybean futures. So we had our H4 MSNR level right here. You can see that was an A to flip level. Now we need to go down to the 15-minute, and we need to find an MSNR level under it on the 15-minute. And that would be this level right here. So I'm going to put a line on that there. So, okay, I'm just going to remove the Asia session because it doesn't really work on this because it opens at a later date. Sorry, later time. So here, so we've got our H4 level right here. And then we've got our 15-minute. And from here, you would simply just set your risk entry there. Now on soybean futures, I've noticed that if we have a 20 pip stop loss or a 2 pip stop, then that works perfectly fine. And yet again, we'll just be targeting the next H4 MSNR, which would be this one here, which would give you a 2R trade, which isn't the best. However, if we look here, we could look to target higher as well, which would be here. On the H4, you can see we had a tap in once. Well, actually, it wouldn't be there, sorry. I seem to have got that wrong. Would there be anywhere on the daily? Yeah, there'd be this daily level here, which we could use. Okay. I'll just go down to 15 minutes. So yeah, you could be targeting up there, which would give you a 4-hour trade. Now, obviously, these are risk entries. There is a reason why we call them risk entries, because they are a little bit more risky than your bog standard entry. You don't have that confirmation. So you may get a little bit more drawdown than normal, but then price starts to shoot off. Okay, so say for example, you wanted to take a trade based off of a QM once you've got that extra confirmation. So we have our low taken there and our high taken here. From there, where's our H1 level? Okay, so we have this H1 level right here. H1. And then from here, where's our next level? It would be this level here, the flip, while we had that QM. You can see that if I just nudge this over, like so, that taps in to the pip. And obviously, if you really wanted to, you could have covered that low, and then you would have got an even tighter stop loss on this trade, I believe. Going up to there, that would be a 9-hour trade. And you can see, really nice big push up. And you'd have hit TP. Now we're going to quickly go over this on Euro USD as well. Just on a pair that people actually do like to trade. That was just a little bit of a show into things that do work in unconventional markets. So we had this level yesterday. If anyone got in this as well, this was a really, really nice trade. I unfortunately didn't. However, you can see here that we have this MSNR level right here. Okay, this A to flip. So now we go and see what flip that. Okay. Okay, where's the closest MSNR level to it? Here. Okay. I would say this one. Right here, probably. I believe. Oh no, sorry, I've missed that there. So it was this. Flip level. Okay, and you can see how accurate. Delete that and keep that. You can see how accurate this is. Okay, just to show you how accurate it is. We'll just nudge this over. Come on. Oh, okay, did that actually get tagged in? Oh no, so you would have been just about a pip, not even a pip. Let's see, 0.1 pip. So, maybe you do want to put it a little bit higher. but nevertheless, you could have got in on the confirmation entry. So if we look here, we take out this low, and we take out this high, even these highs. Okay, where is this H1 MSNR? We've got H1 A level right there. H1, and then we have a look on the 15-minute. Where is our gap level? Sorry, not gap level. Where's the next level? And it is here. I don't think there was a gap level, was there? No. So this one, super accurate. Yet again, in and out, just like so. Yet again, like I said, you are going to have a higher TP, higher stop loss than this. But up to this here, that is still, a 5-hour trade. And if you really wanted to, you could have covered it with a 3-pip stop loss. You're usually safe on 3-pip stop losses with EU. And then if you're feeling risky, you could have gone for a 2-pip and you would still be in that. And up to there, that would have been a 10-hour trade. If you've got any questions on this, I'll be happy to answer them. Other than that, we will speak soon. I'm going to put out a breakdown of some trades from yesterday. I'm going to put that out within the next couple of hours as well. So if anyone's got any questions on this though, be sure to let me know.